Previously, we met Kurosawa, a loner with a massive god complex and a highly illegal daily ritual in the third-floor girls' restroom. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, pause this video and go watch it right now.
The introduction phase is over, and now it's Kitahara's turn. As she walks up to give her intro, our guy, Kurosawa, thinks to himself, she's going to be my first target. Kitahara gets to the podium and starts screaming in a way that completely contradicts her usual vibe. She yells, "I am Choi Hong Man." Kurosawa and the rest of the class are absolutely shell-shocked. They're all thinking, what just happened to this tiny little squirrel of a girl? She continues, claiming that spring is here and she's going to become a crazy workaholic. Nobody has a clue why she's acting so bizarrely, except for 2 specific girls. These are the same girls who regularly bully Kitahara. They definitely forced her to go up there and make a fool of herself. Seeing them laughing confirms it for Kurosawa. He thinks to himself, there's no way an introvert pulls a stunt like this on their own. But when you're being bullied, you have to do what you're told. Fast forward a few months, and Kurosawa walks into the classroom. The social hierarchy has completely settled. The cliques are firmly established. Otakus hang with otakus, the studious kids stick together, and the jerks mingle with the jerks. Because of this, the kids who get bullied are completely isolated, like Kitahara. Right now, she's minding her own business, eating her lunch, but these girls show up to harass her, making fun of her mom's cooking and spewing garbage. Kurosawa is also sitting alone, but he isn't bullied. He notes that most students eat together since friend groups have formed, but Kitahara's total isolation makes her an easy target. The bullies proceed to dump coffee right into Kitahara's rice. Kurosawa watches and thinks, man, this is messed up. I sometimes wonder if they ever get tired of bullying her. What did she even do to them? But whatever, it's none of my business. I have no connection to her. We haven't even talked. I only used her once as FAP material and that's it. What kind of guy am I? His attention then shifts to another girl, Naito, one of the class beauties. He starts intensely staring at her, studying her every micro-movement, how she eats her rice, how she drinks her water. He's trying to mentally capture everything, the way she holds her chopsticks, how she puts the bottle to her lips, her skirt, her legs. He needs to memorize it all for later. After all of this, Kurosawa's daily ritual begins. We get a slightly deeper look into it this time. He's imagining Naito while doing his business. He has to force the fantasy a little bit, but by the time he finishes, he is overwhelmingly satisfied. With his ritual done, he cleans up and heads out toward home. Suddenly, he hears a loud thud coming from a nearby tree. He looks over and sees Kitahara on the ground. He walks over and asks if she's okay. She insists she's fine, but looking at her disheveled state, her dirty clothes, and her scraped hands and legs, Kurosawa instantly pieces it together. The bullies threw her uniform up into the tree, and she fell trying to climb up and get it. He tries to ask her about it, but she brushes him off and starts walking away. Knowing exactly what's going on, he calls out, "You're being bullied by Sugawara and her friends, aren't you? Why?" Kitahara snaps back, "It has nothing to do with you. Mind your own business," and walks away. Kurosawa agrees internally. She's right. I have zero involvement in this, but seeing this messed up stuff happen, it's starting to irritate me. Even though Kitahara is the one suffering, a quiet anger is starting to build up inside Kurosawa, and soon enough, he actually decides to take action. First, we cut to PE class. The boys and girls are separated. The girls are mostly playing basketball, which involves a lot of running and jumping. The boys are being absolute creeps, watching the girls bounce. One guy is practically drooling over Naito. Another notes that Sugawara looks good too, though someone points out she actually skipped PE class today. Meanwhile, Broccoli Head, a classmate, brags to Kurosawa about breaking his personal long jump record, calling Kurosawa "Your Majesty." Kurosawa just dryly replies, "Good for you." When everyone heads back to the classroom, they find a broken window. Broccoli Head immediately goes into full detective mode, urging everyone to check their stuff to see if anything was stolen. Nobody is missing anything, except for one guy, an overweight otaku nicknamed Pizza. His PE uniform has been stolen. Everyone is baffled as to why anyone would steal his uniform. Unable to find it, poor Pizza has to spend the entire school day wearing his sweaty gym clothes. During the lunch break, the real drama unfolds. Kitahara walks up to Pizza and says she found his stolen uniform stuffed inside her bag. Kurosawa immediately realizes something is fishy. Pizza is confused and asks why it was in her bag. Kitahara stammers that she doesn't know. She just opened her bag and there it was. Right on cue, Sugawara and her bully squad swoop in. Sugawara loudly accuses Kitahara of being the thief. Before Kitahara can even defend herself, the girls are screaming and making a scene. Because she's an introvert, Kitahara's denials are barely a whisper. The bullies aggressively pressure her until she finally caves and falsely confesses to stealing it. Sugawara triumphantly declares, "See? We caught the thief." The thing is, everyone in the class, including Kurosawa, knows this is a lie. Everyone knows Sugawara skipped PE and planted the uniform to frame Kitahara. Because the whole class knows it's a sham, nobody really cares at first. But then Sugawara asks, "Why did you do it? Do you have a crush on Pizza?" Suddenly, the entire class erupts into laughter. The kids who previously didn't care are now fully invested in the drama. Even Naito chimes in, asking if it's true. Everyone starts chanting, "Confess! Confess!" Kurosawa is boiling with rage. He watches Naito, the girl he usually admires from afar, joining in on the mockery. Under immense pressure, Kitahara is forced to say, "I like you, Pizza." The class ironically cheers, mocking the new couple. They tell Pizza he hit the jackpot. Kitahara is so overwhelmed that she sinks to the floor and starts crying. Sugawara ruthlessly asks if they are tears of joy. Kurosawa is absolutely furious. He admits he doesn't know why he suddenly cares so much, but in that moment, he decides he's going to punish Sugawara and her friend himself. Kurosawa's revenge plan begins with his daily ritual. Today's fantasy involves a kidnapped Sugawara begging for mercy, telling him not to touch her. Kurosawa's internal monologue responds, "I won't touch you, only my third leg will touch you, from the inside." He finishes his ritual, declaring that his plan is now in motion. The next day in class, everyone is buzzing. Broccoli Head greets Kurosawa, mentioning that Kurosawa just arrived for the 4th period because he was at the hospital all morning. The big news in class? Sugawara and her friend's uniforms have been stolen. The culprit? Our boy, Kurosawa. He notes to himself that everything is going exactly according to plan. Sugawara is freaking out, trying to blame everyone, even the otaku gang. Broccoli Head defends them. When Sugawara tries to accuse Kurosawa, Broccoli Head defends him too, pointing out that Kurosawa literally just got to school after being at the hospital all morning. Then, another girl runs into the room and announces that the missing uniforms have been found in the girls' restroom. Sugawara goes to look and starts screaming, "Who did this?" The boys are confused, but Kurosawa knows exactly what happened. He took his millions of kids and completely defiled Sugawara and her friends' uniforms. Everyone is shocked. Kurosawa internally gloats, "You bully a weak girl, but look how weak you two are right now." Here is how Kurosawa pulled it off. He told his homeroom teacher he would be late due to a hospital visit. However, he actually arrived at school incredibly early. During the 3rd period, while the class was out, he sneaked in, stole the clothes, went to the girls' restroom, did the deed, and then casually strolled into class as if he had just arrived from the hospital. Ironclad alibi. The teacher comes in, but the girls are way too traumatized to focus on class. Kurosawa and Kitahara make eye contact. He thinks, "She saw how utterly destroyed those bullies felt." Unfortunately, the lesson doesn't stick. By the next day, the bullies are back to harassing Kitahara. They initially suspected her for the uniform incident, but since the mess was obviously made by a guy, and Kitahara doesn't talk to any boys, she was cleared of suspicion. Soon, the class is told they are going on a school trip next week and need to form groups of 5. The popular kids and extroverts immediately start forming massive supergroups. Kurosawa resigns himself to being grouped with the leftovers, assuming Kitahara will be in the same boat. Surprisingly, Broccoli Head, who actually has a decent group of otaku friends, steps out of his established circle and pulls both Kurosawa and Kitahara into his group. That's just how it goes for introverts. You just sit there until an extrovert adopts you. Pizza joins them to round out the group.
To add salt to the wound, Broccoli Head cheerfully announces that he and Kurosawa will be sharing a hotel room. After school, it's time for Kurosawa's daily ritual. Today's target is Naito. He heads to a quiet restroom to do what he does, but before he can leave, a girl walks in. Kurosawa is highly confident. He thinks, "I'm fine. I'll just hide until she leaves." But then, a voice calls out from the other side of the stall. "It's you in there, isn't it, Kurosawa?"
Panic mode activated. He recognizes the voice immediately. It's Kitahara. She says, "I know you're in there, and I need a favor." Kurosawa stays dead silent, trying to figure out what to do. Kitahara threatens to keep talking loudly if he doesn't respond. Cornered, Kurosawa finally speaks. Kitahara drops her demand. "What you did to Sugawara, I want you to do the exact same thing to Naito. I know you're the one who did it. You're the only one who could. That's why I'm asking for your help." Kurosawa obviously plays dumb, denying everything and bringing up his hospital alibi. Kitahara drops a massive bombshell. "I don't have hard proof, but I know it was you. I know you come to this bathroom every single day to relieve yourself." Kurosawa is completely floored. How does she know that? Kitahara explains that on the very first day they interacted, Kurosawa told her a teacher asked him to put away some cleaning supplies in that room. The catch? The teacher had actually asked Kitahara to do that chore. He had accidentally exposed his lie to her on day 1. She tells him she's watched him sneak in and out of that building constantly and put the pieces together. She corners him completely. "Look, I won't tell anyone your dirty little secret. In exchange, you do this for me. Paint her clothes with your colors." Kurosawa can't really say no, but he asks why she's targeting Naito, since Naito never directly bullied her. Kitahara coldly reveals that while Naito didn't participate, she watched and laughed, something Kurosawa himself had noticed. Kitahara tells him she'll be back at the same time tomorrow for his answer and walks out. Left alone, Kurosawa thinks, she came in like a hurricane and left like one, leaving behind one hell of a request. That's a wrap for this recap. If you guys are hyped for the next chapter, let me know by commenting "next part." If I see enough of you asking for it, I will definitely prioritize the next video and get it out to you guys.